Welcome back to our continued journey through Atari arcade games from the 1980s. We've been covering a lot of games from Atari here in this series, and there's still a lot more to go. This latest arcade game that we're covering is an interesting one. Now, it was not a big commercial success, but it's still somewhat popular with gamers today for collectors of arcade games. It's called Black Widow. Now, Black Widow was offered as a conversion kit for the arcade game Gravitar. Basically, it changes out some of the ROM chips. It uses the exact same PCB, uses the exact same cabinet. When it was released from Atari's factories, it was essentially the Gravitar cabinet, just with the Black Widow cabinet art placed over it to replace it. So it was essentially the same arcade machine, just with some of the ROM chips removed to change the game inside. The hardware inside, the same processor and everything, is all exactly the same internally. As I said, this game was not a big commercial success for Atari, but it has become somewhat of a cult classic itself. And it has somewhat complex play mechanics for an arcade of its time, with various enemies that drop a item that you have to pick up in order to score extra points. Some enemies that cannot be destroyed, but what they produce can be destroyed, and some enemies that have to be used to destroy some other enemies. There are ones that it will explode upon being fired upon. So this was a somewhat complex game for them at the time, somewhat complex play mechanics for the time. It was a vector graphics game, and it did utilize many of the vector graphics technologies that Atari had made for other previous games, and it is a game that utilizes color vector graphics. So let's take a look at Black Widow. Here we are in Atari Vault, and before we go into the game, let's take a look at the gallery and see what kinds of promotional materials or any images there are of this game. Now here you see the arcade cabinet, the stand-up cabinet. This is essentially as I said, this is the same cabinet as used by Gravitar, only that the artwork has been changed on the outside. And this is what the header would look like that you would see above the screen. And some of the panels from the control panels here gives you what the different enemies score, how many points you can earn, and what the enemies are for. Some of them give you extra points, some of them explode to destroy other enemies. They can only be destroyed using some other enemies. The operations manual and repair manual for Black Widow, the arcade game. And we're back. Not many images. As I said, this one was not a big commercial success for Atari, so usually the ones that are not the ones that have the most commercial success usually don't have a lot of imagery associated with them in Atari Vault. But let's go into this game because it's actually pretty fun. I've got my handy-dandy Steam controller here, which works very well with these. So let's get in. Now that enemy right there picks those up. I have to push these off. Ah! It hatched. I got away. Ah! Oh! let's do that again. Shoot. Alright. Ah, egg is going to hatch. It's gonna hatch. Ah, crap. Push that egg off. Alright. I can't go past those red markers. Okay. Oh! Okay, I'm actually doing not half bad here. Doing better than I do in most twin stick shooters. Ah! Got me. Ah, I can't kill him. Got him. Ah! Oh, man. Alright. I'm gonna go some more. Only 6th place. Alright, let's do this some more. Some enemies can't be destroyed. Some can. Some enemies lay eggs on the dollar signs. Oh. Some eat the dollar signs. Hey, alright, it's better. Oh. Get off the lawn! Off my web. Ah! Didn't get it in time. Whew. Oh! Being attacked by them. Oh, I'm trapped. You can't pass through the red mark. Alright. I almost got it there. Stay away from my... Ah! I beat my... No, I didn't. Let's reset. Go again. Ah! Ah! Warming me here. Whoa. Oh. Get it. Ah, got it. Whoa! Oh, I can't. Oh, ah! Oh, I still haven't beat that score. And that was Black Widow, a twin-stick shooter similar to Robotron 2084. Now this was not a big commercial success for Atari, and it was released as a conversion kit for the arcade game Gravitar. Next time we take a look at one of the most popular arcade games out there. Game that really brought a lot of people in. It's right up there in popularity with Space Invaders and Pac-Man. I'm talking about Centipede. See you next time.